Cancer, welcome to your week ahead reading. This is the week commencing the 8th of December. And first of all, a massive, massive thank you to everybody. We've reached 25,000 subscribers and it's absolutely blown me away. This channel has only been going for 18 months. And I think it's about 18 months. July, not this July, last July, whatever that is. Anyway, thanks so much. I'm just truly grateful. I'm also very grateful of all your lovely comments and support and hitting that like button too. But also the way that you react to each other on the channel, which is lovely. I've seen it quite a lot recently where people have, lost loved ones and other people have commented and supported them. It's so lovely. So I thank you for that. Right, let's get on with your reading. Cancer. Now we are starting with the Moonology deck. And we have got first quarter moon in Scorpio. It says release your blocks, Cancer. And then we have be humble. Be humble. Interesting. Really interesting. I can't even release your blocks. What are your blocks? What's stopping you from doing something? Who's stopping you? Is it something from within you can look at? And then be humble. It's like a bit of gratitude going on there, isn't there, Cancer? Let's have a look. We are using Radiant Ryder Waite. So, dear spirit guides and angels, please join us in this reading for Cancer. Make it helpful. Oh, too many. Hopeful and healing. That's definitely got to come out. Ah, there we are. Hierophant is your focus for next week. Oh, gosh. All fingers and thumbs. The King of Swords is your opportunity. Oh, Knight of Cups, but in your challenge. Page of Wands is your subconscious bubbling under the surface. And then we have the Queen of Cups as your advice and outcome. Now, the Hierophant is very spiritual card, one of the most spiritual cards in the deck, along with the High Priestess, and he represents guru energy, mentorship, teaching, learning. You can see the people right at his feet, they're hanging on to his every word. It can also represent institutions, government, places, but also your way of thinking, you know, how you perceive things, your traditional way of thinking. Maybe you've got to focus on looking at something differently. For me, it's also about long-term commitments to things, and which can include marriage. At the same time, it can include divorce as well. So there's something to focus on next week that you perhaps are very, very committed to, that maybe you need to change your mindset on. Maybe it's going to pull you out of, the traditional way of thinking about things. Now, the King of Swords is your opportunity. The King of Swords is very logical, very intelligent decision making, but it's decision making based on facts and not fiction. Very much like a judge for me, the King of Swords is in the deck. Somebody that will take that side and then take that side and come to a very logical, intelligent, non-emotional decision. And I feel like there's something that whatever you're committed to here, that's the mindset that you need to be in here. Now, he's a king, so he's top of his suit. So it's like you're really sitting in your power next week. Now, the Knight of Cups is in your challenge. With the Hierophant, because I said the Hierophant can represent marriage, at the same time divorce. This is also about offers of love. I don't know if there's somebody around you that actually would like to give you something that you're like, absolutely not. You can go and do one. I'm not interested. Maybe it's their commitment that you're not trusting. And then therefore the King of Swords, again, it could be some sort of legal aspect involving this offer. It doesn't mean to say it's a relationship or a friendship. It can also represent matter of the heart, something or somebody that you were very, very close to, that takes that heart chakra. You're not entertaining this offer whatsoever, or you're waiting for this offer to come in and that just isn't coming to fruition. The Knight of Cups for me is also the card of apology. It could be somebody trying to wave a white flag, give you an olive branch, and you're like, up yours, absolutely not. The Page of Wands is bubbling under the surface. The Page of Wands encourages you to be more spontaneous about something, a little less, I don't know, a bit more footloose and fancy free. Don't, feel like, maybe perhaps Cancer, you feel like you've got the world on your shoulders at the moment. And this is the need to be more, what's the word? I can never think, ambitious. Yeah, look at something, that through almost childlike eyes, a great idea, something that'll get a fire in your belly. That's bubbling under the surface. Maybe there's something that you want to restart again and have another crack at the whip, so to speak. Now, the Queen of Cups is in your advice and outcome. The Queen of Cups is an advice card. Obviously, she's a queen. She's incredibly also very connected to the universe. She's very, trusts her intuition, the Queen of Cups does. Very emotional, but very emotionally stable. And she has enough love to go around. And she just, she's very nurturing, the Queen of Cups. But she also follows her heart's desires. She knows when to put a lid on that cup. It's like advice card is, are you over giving to somebody that you're not getting back in this commitment here? And maybe that Knight of Cups, now they're trying to come in, you're like, no, it's too late. It's too late, I'm not having it. But what I'll say there is, I don't know, sometimes initially we can feel like that, but don't cut your nose off to spite your face. That's all I'll say to that. Queen of Cups, again, as advice, can be follow your heart, follow your intuition, but also know when to put a lid on it. Maybe that's your blocks. Now, the Hierophant, why are you here? Please and thank you for Cancer. Oh, Two of Wands, clarified by the Two of Wands. Yeah, this is about... And now, the Two of Wands for me, I always get that song in my head, should I stay or should I go now? Do not worry, I am not going to burst out in song. I cannot stand it when tarot readers do that, but that's my personal opinion. Two of Wands, yes. It's like you're reassessing something here. Should I stay or should I go? Do I stay in the comfort of what I know, the person I'm with, the job I'm in? Or do I go and see what else is in that big wide world for me? What other opportunities? And again, what other string can I add to my bow? But it's going to push you outside your comfort zone. And as I said, with the Hierophant, I think it's going to require you to think outside the box a little bit, traditionally speaking. Now, the King of Swords is your opportunity. And this is to be very logical, very intelligent about some decisions to be made. This is about writing things down, maybe advantages list, disadvantages list, and then coming to a logical decision as opposed to an emotional one. And also it's encouraging you to be true to yourself. My gosh, you got the Three of Wands. You definitely want to do something new here, Cancer. Now, the Three of Wands, I don't know if you're trying to justify it with the King of Swords, actually. Thinking, well, you know what? I've got every right to do this, The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages, because the Three of Wands is obviously... it's the next stage to the Two of Wands, and it's like, right, no, I'm actually really wanting to make these plans. I can see there's bigger, better things. I want to expand my horizons. I want to, it could be moving house, this could be moving job, but there is an urge to do this. But for some reason, you're trying to justify it with that King of Swords. Maybe you need to look at it practically like that. Love that. Really, really positive cards here. Three of Wands can also be about travel. And so can the Two of Wands. He's got a globe in his hand. It's like there's more things in the world to be seen. Do you feel a little bit like now's the time to be a bit more adventurous with your relationships, with your job, however it may resonate? Now, the Knight of Cups is in your in your challenge area, and again, it's either somebody coming through with an apology that you're like, absolutely not. You can stuff that where the sun doesn't shine, or it can be, what did I say? Some sort of offer, or you're waiting for an offer to come in. Sorry, let's have a look. Seven of Cups. Ooh, interesting. As a challenge. Now, the Seven of Cups indicates variety is the spice of life, but also indicates procrastination, not being able to make your mind up about something. I just feel with this Knight of Cups, I feel that they've kept you in the dark about something, and it's like, yeah, it's like a lack of trust going on with somebody here. Because the Seven of Cups as a challenge for me is also about you, I say, procrastinating, not being able to make a decision, maybe because you're for fear of upsetting somebody. And that's why you're knocking back this proposal. Or there's a lack of, I just feel there's a lack of trust. It's like somebody's coming in and you're like, no, I ain't putting those rose-tinted glasses on again. But as I say, be careful of that energy. It's cups, so it's possibly a Pisces, Cancer or a Scorpio. Now, the Page of Wands, for me, it makes me feel like you want to be independent. Let's have a look. Page of Wands. Why are you here? In your bubbling under the surface. And I say it's about being ambitious. It's about adding another string to your bow. Creativity could be your job. And it's about, I don't know, I feel like there'll be less responsibility around this. And this is what's bubbling under the surface for you. You don't want that responsibility. You want to have the Two and the Three of Wands open to you. Do you feel like you've been put in a box all the time at the moment? Do you feel a little bit suffocated in your job or a relationship? You've got the Ten of Wands also bubbling under the surface. Sorry, that's the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is about not giving up because you're nearly there. And with these Two and Three of Wands too, I do feel like you are pursuing something, and deep down, bubbling under the surface, you subconsciously, you are taking practical steps towards this. But the Nine of Wands can also indicate you're shattered, yeah? Because you're trying to keep all these plates spinning in the air. Maybe, you know, the Page of Wands, as I say, I feel like you want to do something new, add a new string to your bow. The Nine of Wands comes in and goes, are you sure though? You know what? How on earth are you going to manage that as well? Let's do one more on that. Because the other half of me thinks that you're quite prepared to take that on. It's like, well, that's all right. You know, I know there's a lot of growth here for you. You kind of know what's ahead of you. Clarified by the Three of Swords. I do definitely think with that Three of Swords here, this is obviously heartache, heartbreak. With that Knight of Cups, again, so somebody coming in, give you an offer, and I feel like the Three of Swords is bubbling under the surface going, absolutely not. Not trusting you again. I'm not trusting that offer again. I had rose-tinted glasses on about that. They've now come off and I can see it for what it is. And that's why the Nine of Wands is here, because you're prepared to not be a wounded soldier in it, but prepared to put the hard work in. And know it's going to be hard work. Now, the Queen of Cups is your advice and outcome. Interesting, the Queen of Cups, as I say, she's very much, as advice card is, yes, it's very good to go around and help everybody, give love, give support, but you've got to put a lid on it. You've got to know when to say no. You got the Seven of Pentacles, with that Queen of Cups. So look at him. He's actually reassessing there, isn't he? So Pentacles is money, finances, our tangible assets, if you like, our reality of life, you know, things, the boring bits that go on in life that we have to kind of, that are practical. And he's looking at the money that he's invested here and he's made, and he's done very well, very, very well for himself. The advice of this card is, do you continue committing to something here with your time, your energy and your money, or do you need to go and look elsewhere as something else that you need to expand on? And again, and I know from these cards here, it's definitely in your subconscious that that is what your focus is. It's just getting there and the timing of it. But the Queen of Cups encourages you to follow your heart's desires too. Interesting reading. Let's finish on, these are the Sacred Creators Oracle. Very, very simple, quick messages. We just need one for Cancer. It says, what's your honest truth? What's your honest truth, Cancer? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how it resonates. Thanks so much, as always, for watching. Really interesting reading. Have a wonderful week. Don't forget to click the like button if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, check in on the midweek energy check-ins. Take care. See you soon.